Hi, I am Sam Yogi. Today is September 21st, 2025. Welcome back to the Krishnamurti podcast. This is episode 57. In today's episode, we shall go through the last few questions and answers from the fourth talk at Ommen, Holland. So the first of the questions that we are going to consider is as follows. Sometimes I hate everybody and everything. Can you advise me how to prevent this terrible feeling from surging up? Because in those moments I am quite unable to get out of it. Krishnamurti, approach it as I have said with your whole being as you approach love. When you love someone intensely, you do it with your whole substance, with your whole being. In that there is no conflict. In that you don't say, how am I to get out? In the same way with hate, transient pleasures, all these things are to be approached wholly. You will then get rid of them. You will then not get rid of them, but you will penetrate and find out their full significance, their true value, and from that there is action. So please don't regard these things as something to be rid of, to be conquered. That approach prevents complete action, and hence there is conflict, and you cannot surmount it, conquer it. It only creates further duality, further opposites. But if you approach it both with your heart and your mind, then it dissolves itself. Then you can understand it fully. Then a new element is born. Okay, so again he has talked about engaging both mind and heart, both intellectually and emotionally, not conquering hate, but understanding hate. Let's look at the next question, which is as follows. Thinking over what you said, I know that I am clinging to certain things. For instance, I am fond of jewels. I know that if I lost my ring, I would cheerfully accept the inevitable, but I would not like to give it to another person. So I am far from detached. I know, perhaps only mentally, that I would be happier or live more easily without these material things. Yet I have the desire to possess them, and I have lots of other desires. How can I get rid of them? Krishnamurti, if you want jewels, have jewels. Why do you want to get rid of them? Why do you want to give them to others? I am afraid you don't follow what I have been talking about the last 4 days. You see, there is no such thing for me as renunciation. When you understand a thing, then it drops off. The outside person may call it renunciation, but for one that acts harmoniously, it is no renunciation. It is natural action. The world praises such a man and says, "What a wonderful man," calls him noble, spiritually puts him on a pedestal and worships him, because they themselves cannot do that. So if you are still caught up in the sensation of jewels, possessions, what is wrong? There are millions of people who are slaves of possession. You are only another kind of a slave to another kind of possession, but you object to it because you are afraid of loss. You are afraid of becoming again lonely. You desire possessions, houses and land, etc., because these things give you a certain security, a certain happiness, and you are afraid of losing the sensation of possession which gives you happiness. Why are you a slave to that happiness of possession? Is it because in yourself there is no richness? In yourself there is no potential, life dynamic? Therefore you rely on all these tawdry things and say how much you must own and how much you must not own. In yourself there is no such, there is so much poverty that you rely on external possessions. Again, in yourself there is so much poverty that you rely on external possessions. Whereas if you were rich, you would not want all these things. Then you will have your houses, clothes, but they will have a minor importance. Then you are a law unto yourself. You are free from all law because you are complete. A thing that is harmonious is eternal because it is from all, because it is free from all transiency. Again, a thing that is harmonious is eternal because it is free from all transiency. So let's pause here and reflect a minute. Krishnamurti has talked in these 4 talks, and prior to these 4 talks at Ommen, the Netherlands, he delivered 4 talks in Alpino and Stresa. both in Italy, in which he talked about these various hindrances which impede action. Hindrances like security, authority, tradition, fear, postponement, which impede action, which hinder action, which make action incomplete. He says once you get rid of, overcome these hindrances, your action becomes infinite. And the way to do it is engage both your mind and heart into the task at hand at present, forgetting the past, not worrying about the future. He calls this complete action, fullness of life, or working, acting harmoniously. So I wanted to just reflect on that for both of us when he says, as a thing, or rather a thing that is harmonious is eternal because it is free from all transiency. So, to the best of my memory, he has not said this before, that a thing that is harmonious is eternal because it is free from all transiency. So approach everything with all your being, and out of that the supreme act is born. The supreme act. Again, a thing that is harmonious is eternal because it is free from all transiency. So approach everything with all your being, and out of that the supreme act is born. With regard to everything, your clothes, your houses, your properties, your jewels, your wife and children, then you will know the infinite act. So approach everything with all your being, and out of that the supreme act is born. With regard to everything, your clothes, your houses, your properties, your jewels, your wife and children, then you will know the infinite act. Let's go through the last question and the answer, because with that we will end this episode and all the material from the fourth talk at Ommen will be completed. Last question. You said man being free is limited. Is the liberated man limited? If yes, this means he is limited like the free man. Please explain. Krishnamurti. The liberated man is without choice, yet he acts from that aloneness, not from himself, but from that aloneness. I am using that word not in the sense of retiring from the world, but that aloneness of true values, which is eternal, neither yours nor mine. To such a man there is no choice, but to the man who is not liberated, there is choice, and therefore he is limited. He is free to choose according to his likes and dislikes. Therefore he chooses, and thereby he is limited. Your choice is based on like and dislike, and you are free in this like and dislike. Therefore, it is limited. But if you are without choice, then you are truly liberated. Then your action is divine. Then you are pure action, that lovely thing. So where action is born out of choice, there must be limitation, because whatever act is born out of an opposite must create another series of opposites, and hence you are caught in this continual duality of opposites, and hence ceaseless effort, ceaseless limitation. Let's look at this again. So where action is born out of choice, there must be limitation, because whether or whatever act is born of an opposite must create another series of opposites, and hence you are caught in this continual duality of opposites, and hence ceaseless effort, ceaseless limitation. You may break down one limitation but erect another. If I am afraid, I am seeking courage. Then my courage is the opposite of fear, which does not free one from fear. I only escaped to what I call courage. But if I am free of fear, fear itself, then I am free of both courage and fear. So where there is choice, there is conflict all the time, as yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And where action is without choice, time is a whole. There is no yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That is eternity. That is immortality. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.